We're back. Chat with another fucking visual venture. The dark side of the FNAF community. Man, we have to watch this, bro. After playing FNAF, after going through all those games, we saw how weird FNAF can get with some of the memes we were seeing. And does it get any weirder than that? This is the question. Does it get any weirder than that? Find out today.
Now, anybody with a business named Freddy's needs to beware.
At Freddy's Pizzeria in Long Branch, the phone seems to never stop ringing.
Scott, I have your family's names, and I'm not afraid to do something bad with them. Like, give them to a hacker on a hacking forum on the deep web. This person was angry at Scott for making FNAF 3 and 4.
Five Nights at Freddy's, arguably one of the most popular video games of all time. With a blockbuster movie, 9 beloved game installments, the Five Nights at Freddy's community has only grown throughout the years. But that may not necessarily be a good thing.
My name is Visual Venture, and we'll be diving deeper into the dark side of the FNAF community. Make sure to stay till the end to find out about the most disturbing parts of the fandom that you might not even know existed.
Stolen designs. With Five Nights at Freddy's, aka FNAF, having such a large worldwide.
Want to see? You're gonna get fucking shit on this video just for saying FNAF, nigga. They're gonna be like, it's FNAF, bro. It's FNAF. They're gonna be on his ass. They're about to be on his ass. They're about to be like, it's FNAF.
At fandom, many people have taken this as an opportunity to make some cash, but not in the most ethical ways. There are countless cases of people using FNAF materials, both copyrighted and fan-made, to make money online. Theft has been a common problem in the FNAF community, with so many fan projects like fan arts and fan renders being created on a daily basis. Many artists tend to get their work stolen and reused for commercial purposes without their permission.
This is my most stolen piece of artwork I have ever made. I don't know what it is about it, but it is literally everywhere. I've had friends that have seen it on Pinterest with no credit. I've seen it on Amazon. I've seen it on, well,
put it on a tee.
Artists constantly have their work stolen and made into merchandise, which have made thousands of dollars. But the artists themselves get no credit, and more importantly, no money from the profits. All this, unfortunately, is a common thing in most fandoms. There are plenty of artists that have to fight tooth and nail to get their designs removed from the shops of random sellers. This problem of unauthorized selling isn't limited to third parties. There have been incidents where the masterminds behind the actual FNAF franchise themselves have used fan art and renders without permission from the original creators. Wow. Controversy arose when the teaser images of the long-awaited Five Nights at Freddy's VR game Help Wanted were released back in 2019. In one of the teasers, there was a blue render of Funtime Foxy, which at first glance just looked like a new model. But upon further inspection, fans started to notice that this was not the case.
If we transpose Gabbo's Foxy head onto the Foxy in the image, it becomes extremely apparent that at least some of this Funtime Foxy was copied from Gabbo.
The majority of the Foxy model was actually a fan render that was made by an artist in the community, and that artist in particular had not given the franchise permission to use their work, and was not compensated for it either. Scott Cawthon, the creator of the FNAF franchise, was quick to apologize for this incident. The teaser was immediately taken down and a statement was released explaining the situation. In the statement, Scott said that this was an isolated incident and that it wasn't done with bad intentions. He then praised the artists in the community for their talent, saying that some fan models even look better than the official ones. And while the
that was Nintendo, nigga, you think they would give a damn? Nintendo would take your shit and still sue your ass for it. I'm just keeping it a buck. You lucky Scott is being nice. Nintendo would take your shit and then sue your ass for thinking that you could make an art and post it online, and post it online without my permission. Like, come on, bro.
Statement was well received within the community, believing it was a genuine mistake. This isn't the first time something like this has happened.
Funko, this isn't your original design. You stole this.
On August 25th, 2018, YouTuber Animatronic posted this video titled Funko Stole Fan-Made Designs. In the video, she reviewed a line of FNAF-inspired figures by Funko called the Arcade Vinyl Collection. And for the first half of the video, things seemed to be going alright. That is, until she got to the Foxy figure in the collection.
I knew I'd seen this somewhere before, but gosh, this is really strange. It's still a cool figure, but now we know it was really made by a true fan. A fan that was kind of ripped off.
And this is just the tip of the iceberg, because some members of the FNAF fandom are more than capable of inflicting harm.
The toxic culture. Ever since the first Five Nights at Freddy's release in 2014, the fan base has been growing, but the bigger the community, the more bad apples there are. And the FNAF community soon earned itself a negative reputation that it did not want to have. Toxicity is a common thing when it comes to
worse than JoJo Bizarre Adventure? No.
And for the FNAF community, that
worse
is
than
no
My Hero?
exception. But while many fandoms seem to be wary and even aggressive towards outsiders, the FNAF fandom is one of the rare few that has just as much internal hostility as they do external. Within the FNAF world, fans get excited about different parts of the story, whether it's games, books, or shows. But this means that everyone forms different opinions. But instead of accepting differing opinions, many members start conflict. A particularly vocal part of the community are the theorists, who come up with a wide range of theories on the game's various aspects, like the character lore or plot. Since these are mostly theories, they haven't been confirmed by any official sources, making it all opinion-based. Whenever theorists don't agree,
Mitch A isn't bad anymore. JJK is the new bad. I could actually see that. I could see that. Naruto community way more tough. The fact that you had the audacity to say that right now, and you just thought that, like, really? 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 I'll show you toxic, bro. Wait in the morning, you're going to see a big pile of doo-doo in your toilet. There's nothing toxic about the Naruto community. And I don't even want to have this conversation. And the fact that you could think you're going to come in here and say the Naruto community is toxic? I'm shitting in your toilet. I'm shitting in your sink, my nigga. I'm busting your pipes in your house so your water starts leaking and you're banned. Get him out of here. Get him out of here, bro. Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
on by any official sources, making it all opinion-based. Whenever theorists don't agree on a certain fan theory, it becomes a breeding ground for intense hatred in the community. Fan wars have become a norm in the fandom, which have escalated to not just arguments, but also more concerning things like threats and even doxing. This vocal minority of the fandom has even taken their toxicity outside of the community, issuing threats to people's families, friends, and coworkers.
Over a theory?
Even the creator of the franchise is not immune to this toxicity. Scott Cawthon, the creator of the FNAF franchise, has dealt with his own fair share of issues when it comes to the fandom, particularly in regards to the safety and privacy of him and his family.
Scott, I have your family's names, and I'm not afraid to do something bad with them.
Back in 2021, Scott Cawthon stepped down from his role as head of the FNAF franchise after a major controversy regarding donations he made to certain politicians. As a result, many FNAF fans turned against him, and he backed away from the franchise completely. However, instead of leaving it at that, some angered FNAF fans went as far as to try and dox him by exposing his personal information, like his home address, which they found from the donation page. And to make things worse, they even sent threats to his pregnant wife, who had no relation to Scott's personal donations. Fans should be allowed to speak their minds.
Clearly not over a theory, but still, wow. Like, separate the art from the artist sometimes, bro. And this is one, sometimes you can't. Like, sometimes you genuinely just can't. But this is one of those times where it's like, you can. You can. You can. And if you don't like the artist and you can't separate it, just walk away, leave, never play the fucking game again. But to dox me and say I'm going to leak your whole information on the dark web so an assassin can come and find you is crazy. It's just some wild shit, man.
About Scott's choices, but escalating it to the point of potential harm is too much, especially since Scott's family was being dragged into it. But on the other side of the coin, there were also diehard Scott fans that were also doxing others in an attempt to defend him. Vivian Medrano, aka Vivi's Pot, known best for creating the animated series Hasbin Hotel, took to Twitter to speak up about Scott's controversy. In her tweets, she talked about how
Man, Hasbin Hotel, I feel like has a pretty freaking deep community as well. Am I wrong? I feel like Hasbin Hotel, and I forgot the other show by them, but I feel like they have a pretty deep community there, bro. A pretty deep, like, Busy Pop. They're the ones who make it, right? Like, I feel like theirs is pretty crazy too, huh?
believed Scott could have speak up about Scott's controversy. In her tweets, she talked about how she believed Scott could have handled the situation better, but many Scott supporters were not fond of this and thought that Vivian was encouraging the public to continue bashing on Scott, so they decided to dox her in retaliation. But Scott
isn't the only one facing controversy. It's become a common pattern among official FNAF staff members.
Controversy from within. Before we talk about the controversial employees within the FNAF community, I want to thank today's incredible sponsor, Manscaped. So the product I have for you guys today is the
fuck with Manscaped. I fuck with Manscaped. I do. Shout out your sponsor, but they're not paying me. We skip it, respectfully. But shout out Manscaped, bro.
Handyman. I'm definitely going to use this thing for a super long time. When it comes to controversial employees in the FNAF franchise, there's one particular name that comes to mind for most fans, and that is Lady Fizzy. Lady Fizzy was a popular FNAF fan artist turned into official employee. Over time, she created many official artwork for the franchise, including cover art for FNAF books and graphic novels, as well as models for the game. Outside of her art, she's also well known for writing fan fiction, which gained popularity in the FNAF community. To many fans, Lady Fizzy was living the life. Going from a fan to an actual employee was a dream come true.
But for Lady Fizzy, it was more like a nightmare. Her career was cut short when harmful information from her past was revealed to the public.
Lady Fizzy had a few concerning interests, which she openly talked about. One of which being that she's a lolicon, which basically means that she's fascinated with people that take on the appearance of young girls. This in itself was disturbing to a lot of
This is not so well. Like, that was already a crazy. I've never ever heard of that term, lolicon. What do you mean by fascinating? Like, find them adorable? Like, oh, you're so cute. Like maybe I'm jumping too far into this. Hold on, what does that mean? No. Just fine. Like, it doesn't mean anything crazy. Just lolly, right? Just find them adorable, right? Nothing crazy, I don't think.
that take on the appearance
We're
of
jumping
young
too far
girls.
ahead. Our minds went too far. I think it's just like she thinks they're cute.
This
like,
in itself was disturbing to a lot of FNAF fans, considering that a large portion of the fandom were a younger demographic. But that wasn't all. In her fan fictions, people started finding creepy details which included kinks given to FNAF characters that were severely frowned upon, and also young characters in questionable settings, ones that are so bad that
the same scene she referenced includes an insert character of Scott Cawthon who exchanges a pedophilic joke with Lady Fizzy's purple guy, Barney, about opening little girls' bottle caps. The little bottle opener, cackled Scott. See, mate, every girl wants you to open their bottles. He narrowly punctuated the quote. Marks, even imitating them with his hands. Be quiet, you're disgusting, snapped Barney at him. But Scott just giggled.
we can't even mention. With all this evidence in questionable settings, ones that are so bad.
Teach me, master, to make the girls hold their bottles for me too. He grinned and made Barney flush and turn away. He knew that Scott can't see his mind. He wouldn't giggle so joyfully. Oh, he wouldn't, that's sure. But he got too close, dangerously close to the truth with his funny note. What kind of fanfic is this?
Bad that we can't even mention. With all this evidence pointing towards Lady Fizzy being unfit for a role on the FNAF team, the community pushed for her to be terminated from the company.
The hate for Fizzy got so strong and enough that around early 2023, a hashtag was made and spread around Twitter, hashtag FireLadyFizzy, as an effort to encourage Scott to fire her from the series.
This movement ended up working, with Scott informing the public that Fizzy was removed shortly after this hashtag went viral. But she wasn't the only questionable employee that Scott ever hired. Pinky Pills was also a fan turned official artist, and she also had her own unsettling interests. In her free time, Pinky liked to draw intimate art featuring FNAF characters, but the scenarios that she would draw them in was enough to earn her disapproval from the community. And alongside that, she was also exposed for tracing her work, including the official art that she did for the FNAF.
She drew this? You're responsible for that? That horny, dorny ass scene right there? Blade, much love for the 10. Welcome in, man.
team, and her traced artwork ended up being used in actual FNAF materials. Pinky Pills hasn't faced nearly as much scrutiny as Fizzy did for her actions, but word is quickly spreading about what she's done. As of right now though, she supposedly still works for the FNAF franchise. My friends, we're just scratching the surface of disgusting people in the FNAF community.
Because these disturbing individuals we're about to talk about have masked their true identities behind their fan games.
Games not meant for kids.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to the mega episode of Five Nights at Freddy's Fan Games.
When it comes to fan-made content, there are few communities that can compare to Five Nights at Freddy's. The fan game culture is huge within the fandom, with some developers creating games that are so good that they're comparable to the original ones. But while there are undoubtedly gems in the FNAF fan game genre, there are also some games that are not only poor in quality, but just straight up wrong. Funtime at Homer's is a fan game that mixes The Simpsons and FNAF together, but in the trailer video for the game, it was found that the N-word was plastered somewhere in the video. This, of course, caught the attention of fans, and the developer was quickly called out. Another fan game called Five Nights at the Haunted House also found themselves in controversy, but for a much worse reason. In the Five Nights at Freddy's games, the introduction scene is always a series of newspaper headlines that relate to the game. But in this fan game, the newspaper headlines were not only morbid, but also real. The headlines featured real missing persons cases, including two of whom both sadly ended up passing away. The developer was immediately criticized for being insensitive and using the pain of real families as part of his game.
And these fan games just get worse.
While fan games are its family, the developer was immediately, including also that relate to the game. But in this fan game, the newspaper headlines were not only morbid, but also real. The headlines featured real missing persons cases, including two of whom both sadly ended up passing away. The developer was immediately criticized for being insensitive and using the pain of real families as part of his game.
And these fan games just get worse.
While fan games are...
These niggas saw some of the shit on Newgrounds though, bro. People would make like... For long, I think we saw a video on it, like real life school shootings that actually happened on Newgrounds. And like full names, full schools, the kids that died, and it's like, boy, it was crazy. It was crazy. People like Newgrounds niggas were just disrespectful, wild when you got too deep into the. There was a great part of it. I'm not saying all of Newgrounds was like that, but some of it was like, nigga, what's wrong with you, nigga?
Are its own category of his game.
And these fan games just get worse.
While fan...
Is that really a womp womp moment? Ryo Min Sakuna? Want to be so bad, huh? Was that a womp womp moment, bro? Is that a womp? Did you really feel like that was a womp womp moment? Because niggas died in the school shooting. That was a womp womp moment for you? Fucking JJK fans, bro. This is my problem. My problem with JJK niggas, bro. You want to be the devil so bad, nigga, but you're not willing to walk with the devil, nigga. You're not moving like that. You don't move like that. You can't. Like, let's be for real. You an anime watcher. It'd be like me walking around being hard, but I watch Naruto. Nigga, just stop. Don't womp womp nothing. The hell you think this is? Come on, bro. You're better than that. We all know you are, so stop this.
Fan games are its own as part of his game. And these fan games for being insensitive and using the pain of real families as part of his game.
And these fan games just get worse.
While fan games are its own category in the FNAF community, there's a subcategory of games that's been growing in popularity. NSFW FNAF games. In these games, the animatronics from the original series are made to look more human-like, more sensual. This means giving them revealing outfits or modifying their bodies to exaggerate certain parts so they fit with the adult theme more. One of the most popular FNAF fan games is called Five Nights in Anime. These are games that morph the anime.
Story time, nigga. Quick story time, nigga. Fucking, someone commented on one of my videos, was like, yo, you should play Five Nights at Anime. And I'm looking and I'm like, oh yeah, fucking definitely, bro. I'm fucking definitely gonna play it. I go and look this shit up. Nigga. I was like, these niggas are fucking, like, why would you even post that on my video. Like, why would you tell me, like, yeah, go play fucking 5? No, I was pissed. I was like, this nigga, bro. Now I have to delete all my history because this guy got me looking at big, busty anime titties just shaking in the fucking, in the room. Big, busty. Like,
animatronics to look more like grown women, putting them in skimpy clothing and changing up their behavior to be more intimate. And in these games, instead of surviving the night like the original game's premise is, these new characters want to do other activities with players during the night instead. What's concerning about this sudden spike in inappropriate fan games is that a lot of FNAF fans are relatively young, and they easily have access to these games. These risque character models have made their way through every
like $3
inch of the
too.
internet, through fan art that's posted on social media, videos that are created using the models, and even as virtual avatars in games like VR Chat. In VR Chat, avatars from Five Nights in Anime, or FNIA, have taken over the game, becoming some of the most commonly used avatars. There's an entire market for avatars like these, and people pay real money to buy them. And since FNIA is an adult-themed game, many have used the avatars for inappropriate reasons, implementing features like doing certain actions. There are even exclusive VR Chat events that are hosted that can only be attended by FNIA avatars. And as you likely guessed, they aren't safe for work either. Since there's no age verification on the game, many of VR Chat's players are actually
orgies,
kids. Those with FNIA avatars.
VR orgies. These niggas got their glasses on and they're just whacking the shit out of their meats behind that fucking VR, nigga. They're just going nuts, moaning in their fucking mics. Oh yeah, you fucking like when I fucking beat that ass up, huh? Yeah, you fucking like that, Bonnie, huh? You like that fucking cunt, Bonnie? Yeah. Bonnie's up there like, give me that dick, Freddy, give me that dick. What they both don't know is that they're both fucking 40-year-old men. None of them niggas in there are women. None of them niggas. They're all fucking men with their voice changers and some crazy ability to sound like a. It's wild, boy. What do they think is? Alright, bro. I'm just.
As commonly, many of VR Chat's players are actually kids. Those with FNIA avatars commonly use VR Chat as a way to meet potential partners. With nothing to go off aside from a voice and no way to verify anyone's age, you can see how this can be a scary situation. But despite the nature of these games, there are many FNIA fans who love them. One of the most common topics they talk about on social media is just how attracted they are to some characters.
The rapid rise of these types of fan games created a new subculture within the fandom, attracting those who like the game's characters just a little too much.
Fan content can be genuinely fantastic, but it's nearly impossible to ignore how awful the waste can be.
I want Funtime Freddy to...
It's 12. This nigga is
nearly impossible.
You're not even 12, bro. You're 8. You're 8, bro. And this is what you wanted to upload to YouTube, nigga? Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Clearly it's too deep. Clearly, it's a little bit too deep, bro. Clearly, nigga. Clear fuckingly, like...
Possible to ignore how awful the waste can be.
I want Funtime Freddy to slap the tip on the camera as a treat.
When people think of the Five Nights at Freddy's fan...
What did you just say?
Fantastic, but it's nearly impossible to ignore how awful the waste can be.
I want Funtime Freddy to slap the tip on the camera as a treat.
When people
Where did you find this comment?
At Freddy's fandom, many people associate it with inappropriate content. And that's because while not every member of the community is like this, there's a fair amount of fans that are drawn to the animatronics in ways that they should be. This growing attraction to the animatronics has created an influx of questionable content to be made about the characters. And this sort of content isn't shared in private. It's widely available on YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, and not to mention it's easily found on Google. So I've already mentioned the implications that this could have on children, since they stumble upon this stuff easily while just looking for FNAF content. But there are other red flags, particularly when it comes to the characters being featured in this sort of content. In the original game, the 5 main animatronics are possessed by the spirits of 5 children that have passed at the hands of William Afton. With that in mind, some some people have become disturbed at the fact that animatronics that are supposed to represent 5 kids are being seen as attractive. And in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, the main protagonist is actually a young boy named Gregory. Gregory is often depicted in gross scenarios for content, which is a terrifying thought considering he is a child. And he's constantly being shipped with animatronic characters or older characters, like Vanessa, a character in the series who also happens to be 23.
And this is just the beginning.
Dormitabus is an infamous FNAF fan game that gained popularity not for its quality, but for its horrifying story.
Dormitabus is a disgusting, vile game made by an alleged that crashed on me over 10 times across the course of my entire playthrough.
Created by the developer Nietzsche, aka Blackout 1912, Dormitabus soon made its rounds in the FNAF community after many content creators started calling the game out for its creepy elements. This is in reference to one of the main characters, Garvey. In one of the tape recordings that you can find lying around, Garvey recalls a time in his life where he did bad things, particularly to a young girl. In the tape, it's clear that the Garvey character was not only remorseful but also happy about it. He called it a fun time. This was already enough to disturb players, but what made things even worse was that this wasn't just fiction. The developer had created this character based off of a real person, himself. On November 12th of 2020, a YouTuber by the name of Nocturnum uploaded a video that exposed Nietzsche for all of the questionable things he's.
Pause. These weird ass motherfuckers are gonna start playing Five Nights in Federal Prison. On God, bro. On God. On God. I did not see that one coming. Himself is. This is. Like I was just about to say, like, I understand, like, you want to make a dark story, like, you know, we see them all the time, like, you kind of, like, you know, just making a storyline that connects in some type of way and show the dark terrors of the world. But when it gets like this, nigga, like, when it's like you really, like, did this for a bigger thing than just to tell a story, like, you enjoyed it, like, you were like, I need people to hear this. We need to lock niggas up now. Like,
of a real person, himself. On November 12th of 2020, a YouTuber by the name of Nocturnum uploaded a video that exposed Nietzsche for all of the questionable things he's done. This included showcasing his history of blackmail and manipulation. But that wasn't all, because Nocturnum would go on to talk about how he was added into a mysterious group chat out of nowhere. And that's where he'd see Nietzsche's true colors. In the group chat, Nietzsche was said to have touchy interactions with other users, particularly ones that were much younger than him. But while Nietzsche's fantasies were quickly condemned by the FNAF community, developers like this are far from rare. Similar to Nietzsche, the developer Jonochrome was also exposed for similar reasons. Jonochrome was best known for the fan games One Night at Flumpty's and Riddle School, but after his messages got leaked, his reputation was destroyed in the community. He was allegedly said to be in an inappropriate relationship with someone named Emily. This relationship lasted for 5 years until Emily decided to expose everything in 2020.
If I had to posit a guess, it was most likely Emily, speaking personally. As I said, I recall him saying online relationship, though I only have my own memory to go on here. But I remember for certain his panic with net, what is it, validity? And is net what? Contacting Emily. Okay. Really
Emily's statement came out at around the same time that Jonochrome was dropping the 4th installment of his beloved fan game series One Night at Flumpty's. So some fans of the game didn't believe her, calling it convenient timing. But another fan game developer, Kane Carter, was able to confirm that the allegations against Jonochrome were true. So Jonochrome spoke up.
John made his own statement on Twitter, once again confirming that the allegations were true.
Jonochrome then took next steps to try to fix his past mistakes, such as enrolling in therapy. Some believed that this was a true mistake and that Jonochrome was capable of change, while others didn't.
In this next chapter, we'll see how some fans blur the lines between make-believe and reality, even connecting FNAF to a real crime.
Taking theories to the extreme. Theories are one of the biggest parts of the Five Nights at Freddy's fandom. With so many games, books, and now a movie, there is a ton of lore that fans want to build upon. FNAF theorists are constantly looking to expand upon each character's lore, backstory, and overall plot of the game, but it's not always in a good way, because sometimes these theories get so
ungodly. This is the dark side. Like, and let's keep it a buck. There's always going to be a weird dark side of every community, especially ones that are very cult-like, right? So I don't want you guys to see this and think FNAF is the worst thing ever. They're great games. This is coming from somebody who thought they were really shitty. Okay, this is coming from someone who thought they were absolutely overrated. They are good games. I'm not that deep in the community. I can't speak too much about it, but the games are good. They're enjoyable. The storyline is good. It's enjoyable. Like, I don't want to, like, steer you off, even though that's not my job, but, like, I don't want to steer you off and be like, yeah, this shit's ass. It's not, bro. It's not. It's pretty solid.
So out of hand that it has real-world consequences. One of the most infamous theories in the FNAF community actually stems from a real-life crime. In the FNAF games, it's said that the animatronics are possessed by the spirits of children who have passed. Well, back in 1993, there was an incident that occurred at a Chuck E. Cheese in Aurora, Colorado. 19-year-old Nathan Dunlap, a former employee, stormed into the store and caused havoc, and in turn ended 4 young children who were there at the time. This crime has a vague similarity to the FNAF storyline, considering that the children also were at a place with animatronics, but it didn't really become a popular theory until Matt Pat covered it on Game Theory. Since then, it's completely gotten out of hand. It created real-world tensions between the FNAF community and the Chuck E. Cheese franchise. Fans used this theory to connect the business with the game, which Chuck E. Cheese did not like. Things have only gotten worse in recent months following the release of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. It's been said that Chuck E. Cheese hated being associated with FNAF, and that they've gotten to the point of blocking people online who compare them to Freddy's Pizzeria. However, during the FNAF movie's promotion period, Chuck E. Cheese tried to take advantage of this for their marketing strategy. They created ads and events that were similar to FNAF lore in an attempt to try and get more customers while the movie was being hyped up. This was not received well by FNAF fans, as tensions were already high between the two communities, and fans started to retaliate. And if we're talking about theories, then it should be no surprise that the most popular sub-fandom of the FNAF community also has a theory of their own. The adult theory is a theory that became popularized upon the release of the FNAF game Sister Location. In this game, the setting has changed from the usual pizzerias, but rather it's now at a place called Circus Babies Entertainment and Rental. The game comes with its own set of new animatronics, with a few notable additions like Circus Baby and Ballora. For theorists, new characters meant new theories, but this time it was going to take a much more wicked turn. Creator and developer Kane Carter started the adult theory, which claimed that animatronics in Sister Location at FNAF game were not like the usual ones in the other FNAF games, and that they were actually at Circus Babies to provide a different sort of entertainment, one that was meant for an adult audience. With Kane Carter being such a well-known name in the FNAF community, many people have supported this theory, pushing it to be for real. But that's problematic considering many of FNAF fans are young, and with all the recent releases, it seems like the franchise has been trying to cater to younger audiences.
And of course, it's time to talk about the fans who take things to the next level.
Fans with no limits. The FNAF fandom is very devoted to their game and the characters within it, sometimes to the point where it's unhealthy and even dangerous. The most recent examples could be tied to the release of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. With FNAF having such a passionate fan base, this has made the franchise's entrance into mainstream media a lot more difficult. The diehard fans of the games have clashed more than once with casual moviegoers, and there have been multiple incidents of FNAF fans who have ruined film showings by wreaking havoc.
It's been bad, bro. It's been really bad. I saw one video on Twitter of a bunch of people ending up fighting in.
How the fuck you fighting at a FNAF movie? How are you fighting at a FNAF movie? I just don't understand. Like, what in the movie triggered you to be like, what part? That's not fucking lore, bro. That's not fucking lore. Yeah, yes it is. It is fucking, there's no fucking lore. That's not how this shit went. What the fuck? Like, is that what you're beefing about in the theater, nigga? Whether it's fucking lore or not, you fucking dumbass? Like, how are you fighting? yo, I ain't gonna lie. Niggas is too deep. Niggas is too deep, bro. Nah, to be fighting over if the movie is lore or not would be hilarious. But I don't know. I was assuming it was like beef outside the theater. They just caught this nigga lacking in the theater and they beat his ass. That's just what I'm assuming in my head. But maybe it was. Maybe it was on
in a
the
cinema because they had different opinions on the film.
Wait, what? No, it was real? Wait, that's what happened?
It's been bad, bro. It's been really bad. I saw one video on Twitter of a bunch of people ending up fighting in a cinema because they had different opinions on the film.
Fans have been filmed stealing.
Y'all are fighting because I didn't like it and you did? Alright, bro. Okay. Okay.
Stealing Five Nights at Freddy's themed cardboard cutouts, posters, and other merchandise from movie theaters. There are even videos of FNAF fans running through entire malls screaming and shouting as they follow someone who has stolen a piece of merchandise from the theater. The most famous incidents date back to 2015 and 2016 when FNAF fans overwhelmed local pizzerias so badly with spam calls because of baseless theories. In 2015, a piece of source code of an FNAF game was released that had a phone number inside of it, which just so happened to also belong to a pizzeria, which was the setting of the game. Thinking this was some sort of clue or leak of the next video that had in 2015, a piece of source code of an FNAF game was released that had a phone number inside of it, which just so happened to also belong to a pizzeria, which was the setting of the game. Thinking this was some sort of clue or leak of the next game, countless fans spam called the real pizzeria, harassing its employees and causing damage to the business. It got so bad that the creator Scott Hawthorne had to deliberately tell fans to stop doing this in a formal statement. But despite his best attempts, that didn't help at all, because a year later in 2016, this same thing happened again when another pizzeria was mass called about FNAF.
Now, anybody with a business named Freddy's needs to beware. If your phone is already not ringing off the hook, it might start soon.
And the only reason why? The pizzeria had just happened to be called Freddy's, and it wasn't even spelled the same way as the
probably
game.
got
the
big
most
business
disturbing
off
incident
that too,
is what happened during MatPat's FNAF alternate reality game, or ARG hunt. Back in 2022, MatPat from Game Theory made a video on his theory about a Five Nights at Freddy's themed alternate reality game. In the video, Matt told his audience about his theory that an FNAF AR game was previously in the works but scrapped before release. So Matt encouraged FNAF fans to go out into the real world to figure out if this AR game was actually in development. Countless FNAF fans went looking for possible clues to try and see if Matt's theory was actually real, but instead of proving that, they just ended up overwhelming several local businesses and disrespecting workers at restaurants and stores as they attempted to find answers.
Some people actually called the actual places of businesses in the towns that were referenced in the book. According to our subreddit, one place of business actually received enough annoying phone calls that they actually had to shut off their phone.
And it even escalated to a point where some fans suggested digging up an actual grave because they believed that there could be clues underneath it. It got so bad that MatPat had to call the entire thing off, begging FNAF fans.
I'm sorry, bro. Are we not talking about a fictional book, a fictional universe anymore? Like, I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Like, are we not talking about a fictional universe anymore, bro? Y'all are about to dig up a grave over whether you can find a clue for a game? The thing is, you're yapping about it online, you're yapping about it. One crazy nigga is gonna go do it. Like, that's what I've seen in this whole video. Like, the FNAF niggas that are too deep are like, deep. Like, bro, I'll die for this. They're probably getting tattoos.
To stop.
Just to be absolutely crystal clear beyond a reasonable doubt, stop. Please stop.
Exploring the Five Nights at Freddy's community has shown us how a video game can stir up strong emotions, both good and bad, and some to the point of causing real destruction. My friends, your words and actions matter, especially online when no one is watching you. And it's time that we make the internet a friendlier place. Visual Venture.
Wait, before you go, make sure you guys click subscribe here and then click this playlist to watch more dark internet documentaries, because the
Visual Venture has given us banger after banger after banger, and respectfully, chat, please go subscribe to this man. visual venture, the dark side of the FNAF community. This man has given banger after banger after banger on the dark side of the internet, and it's just wow. Like, that was so good. That was so damn good, bro.